Shalom. My name is Brother Yardan, and I greet you in the name of the Most High, Yeshua HaMashiach. In the name of the Most High, I bring you his words. Not my words, but the words from his scriptures, from his books, from the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Therefore, I would like to let you know in advance, the words that I read are not my words. They're the words that was given to the entire planet, the Most High. So what I read to you have been deprived of you. So it may sound strange and foreign to you because you've never been taught the truth. You've been taught many things about how we all gather together and how we all walk through the lilies and how we all are one. But we all are not chosen because he has a chosen people. And he tells us in the book of Genesis, the chapter 12, it's that these people that I've chosen from generation through time for eternity are my people. And when he tells you that, you can validate that through all of the scriptures that he gives you if you follow up on the research that he's shown you to prove who you are. Nobody taught you that because we wanted to be kept in the dark, as we've been kept in the dark all of our lives, because being a chosen people is a special people, a people that is above all people. And it's proven through his scriptures. The things that I will show you and tell you, I will not only read them, I will show you my words through his words, because the book that I'm reading from, it's just me interpreting and being the voice of those words. So I will start with Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 through 9. And these are the words of the Most High. And I'm going to turn away from you for a moment because I want to read these words to you because you was not say that these words are coming from Yadan. And here we go. Chapter 7, verse 6 through 9. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number. You were less than any. You were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto you, and brought you out of he brought you out with a mighty hand out of the house of the bondage for the redeeming of the bondsman, which is Egypt. Knowing, therefore, that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments for 1,000 generations. 1,000 generations until his return. Deuteronomy. As I said, be patient and come along with me, because I don't want to mislead you and let you think that these words are coming from Yadan. We go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 7 through 9. For what nation is there that is so great, who hath the God so near unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteously as all the laws which are set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, lest thou depart from the heart of all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons, and thy sons, and thy sons' sons. These words are eternal. You have been misled because you don't know who you are, and you're upset because someone is trying to tell you that you've been taught by someone that never considered you to be an equal. And I'm going to keep emphasizing that because we have been conditioned, brainwashed, misled, and any and everything that can be confusing to the chosen people to keep us in bondage from the days of the Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, Persian Medians, through Greek, through the Romans, and to America. That's bondage. And the house of bondage means slavery. Anytime you look at that and you see that, it mystifies you because you say, why are we in these difficulties? Why have our future been destroyed? Why have slavery been part of our existence? I remember reading a part in the Bible about Jeremiah. He said these words, and it was so not funny or anything, but he said, oh my God. He said, was Israel just put on earth just to be slaves? No people have endured slavery like the chosen people. No people have been put into bondage like the chosen people, to be put on slave ships, to be raped, to be murdered, to be sold, to never own property, to build a nation, and not getting credit and not getting a dime for any of the labor of this country. We're God's chosen people because that's all we've ever done, because of the sins and because of our iniquities and because of the curse. When you hear the word curse, it kind of throws you off because you don't want to believe in curse, but you may believe in witchcraft. You may believe in soothsayers. You believe in all the wizardry, the mysteries, or the fantasies of the mind. But when it comes to the Most High and His words, you find them hard to really believe. These are the scriptures of the Most High. Nobody gave these scriptures to them to alter them. He said, if you change anything in this book, the plagues of the land will come upon you. And what do you think is happening? But God's chosen people are awakening. We're coming. We're coming from all parts of the earth. We're communicating with technology of today. You cannot stop us. You cannot hold us back because the Most High knows that this time is short. And Satan knows also that his time is very short. I'm going to continue on the proof of God's chosen people. Bear with me. I want to be specific, precise, and direct with you on the words because it's hard to believe things if you don't have the proof. But when you have the proof, you have to start thinking that, maybe some of these things that have been happening does validate, justify, and show proof that these things that are happening are not coincidence. Because if you don't believe in the Most High, then you don't believe in anything because there's no such thing as religion. And whenever I say religion, people get upset with me and I say there's no such thing as religion. I believe the religion. I taught religion. I did a lot with religion. But when you have a chosen people and its only mission is to save the world, because he said, I will spread this out through all the parts of the world. Spread you out. But you're going to come back to me and I'm coming to get you. But in the process of that, being of the tribe of the Levites, the teachers of the Holy Writ, the teachers of the laws, the Mosaic period, and through the Masonic period, Jesus, you called him. I called him my Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach. And the curse that is upon us, we became a stiff-necked, rebellious people. We've lived in a land that have tricked us and have shown us all of the things which the Bible tells us. He said, learn not the way of the heathen nation. Learn not the way of the heathens. And when we think about our world and our life and our part of knowing who we are in life, we've been really restricted to understand who we truly are. When a people steal your identity and tell you that you're nothing and take over everything that the Most High had given you, and because you rejected him, we rejected him, and he put you in our place. He took what he gave us and gave to you. And the curse that is upon us is a curse. And that curse has to be fulfilled. And he has to have us to turn back to him. But when you read the words, you get a little scary because he said, if it was not for him to intercede, there would be none saved, not one, none left. That is scary. When you think about us, that we are in a time, as I spoke on my earlier video, that in a time that you could take your finger and push a button and the entire earth could be destroyed. He said, I'm coming through with the trump of an angel. I'm not going to come to earth. He said, the dead will rise first. And those that are alive will come up to him. We've listened to many fantasies of what is the rapture and the stories about the 7 year, the things that are taught in all of the scholar schools and the teachers of the Bible studies and courses that have told us things, but has eliminated the fact that being of the chosen children, the chosen people, we have been neglecting our duties, our responsibility, because we don't know them. And until we know them, we can't rectify the things that our people are experiencing. I want to go back to giving you the scriptures themselves and show you whom we truly are. Now, I'm going to skip over a little bit. I'm going to go to Daniel. Daniel chapter 9, I believe, is where I want to go. Daniel, as I said, the reason I'm looking through the scripture, because I want you to not be misled to think that these words that I'm reading are of my own understanding and my interpretation to others. No, it's not me. These are the words of the Most High. And I'm going back to Daniel chapter 9, verse 11 through 13. And I might jump into 15 also, because that's part of a continuation of validating the Most High chosen people. Now listen carefully. He said, yea, all Israel have transgressed. They've transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon them, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, Mosiah, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he had confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done unto Jerusalem. As it is written in Moses' law, the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. He said these words. I'm going to continue, as I said, I'm going to go about 15. He said, and now, O Lord our God, that had brought us thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and has gotten the renown on its own day. We have sinned, we have done wickedly. And speaking on being led away, we've had many times in these generations that the Most High have spoken to us and told us what we ought to do as a people, to gather our people. Many leaders from generations have try to establish that relationship back with him, but there's a evil in the land that makes it disconnecting, and that discerning spirit which is always floating around trying to inhale the vapors of anything that is productive from the Most High. And I'm going to go now to Amos chapter 3, verse 1 through 4. And I ask you to be patient with me because I don't want you to misunderstand. The main thing that I spoke to you about was this. These are not my words. These are the words of the Most High. I'm confident enough to tell you the truth because we have to learn somewhere along the way that we must have our identity reestablished. He says here, hear this word that the Lord hath chosen against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Now listen to those words. This is the Most High, the one that reigns, the one that the Yeshua is sitting beside, HaMashiach. Listen to those words. This is not my word, it's his words. He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. He said, therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. That's very important. Very important. I want to say it one more time. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken. He spoke it against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. He said, you only have I known. Now, when I tell people things such as when God said in the scripture of John, chapter 3, verse 16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so whosoever believeth on him shall have eternal life. But when you read these words and you hear those words from the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1 and 2, it says that you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities because you turned away. Now, tell me the truth. What do that have to do with all of the rest of the world? He said, you have I chosen as my people. I love that. He said, you, my chosen people. And when I talked to you last in my video, and when I spoke to you about a color, I can't help what color the Most High say his chosen people are. I didn't make it up. He said it. I didn't say it, so don't get upset with me. I gave you every verse, every scripture. I gave you everything to describe who God's chosen people were and how they look and how those people are still his chosen people. From generation to generation, he said nothing would change. Because I give you truths, because I give you honesty, because I give you the facts. Don't get it mixed up to think that what I'm doing is bringing hate towards anyone. Oh no. Oh no. That is the worst thing that you could do, to think that I would bring hate upon anyone. I love everyone. I got all types of blood going through my family's veins. I love everyone. But he still has a chosen people. A peculiar, when you see my fingers go up, I'm being firm now. A peculiar people. I know who I am, and I'm proud. It took a lot of years, a long time. It took me complications of what religion I believed in, what religion I belongs to. Are we just here and with no purpose? But finding out that we are the chosen people of the Most High, my back stopped hurting because I got the monkey off my back. I started standing up straight. I started saying the word Yeshua, Hamashiach, Shalom. And I couldn't say the word Jesus anymore because I know the truth about how that name came into existence. I know how that portrait was painted. I know everything about it. As I stipulated a long time ago, I'm just beginning. And I will bring to you many studies and much research for you to be able to research yourself. How can they learn if they don't have a teacher? How can they hear if there is no preacher? I bring you the truth from the words of the book that he gave us, that we should live by his statutes. I want to go a little further in my choosing of validations of the things that hopefully won't confuse you as I look away, as I want to make sure that you understand that what I'm doing is not from my lips, but from the words that the Most High puts on my lips. So be patient and let me make sure that I get everything in accordance the way that you should understand it. Now I'm going to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah is really something special that I want to let you know what he said in the book, the 30th chapter of Isaiah, verses 8 through 10. He said these words. He tells his prophet saying, this is what Isaiah is saying in his book. He said, now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book. Go write it on a table, in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people. See, I told you, this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers. Now, the seers were prophets back in the days of David. The prophets Samuel, and you hear them, they were considered seers back in the time, which is to say to the seers, who not, and to the prophets the prophecy, not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophecy deceits. Now you want to be made to feel good. You want to feel that what you're doing is so important that you have a standing relationship with your own self. But I go further to come back and go to you with Luke. Luke, I'm going to the New Testament as you, everything I told you was from the Old Testament. Now I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to go to Luke. And I'm going to read something to you from Luke chapter 1. Chapter 1, as I say, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying is something that I myself believe and wrote for you. No, there are 40 different authors over that in this book that the Most High inspired to give us his interpretation. And that's not even counting the ones that were eliminated out because of Constantine and those that were the changes of the Most High scriptures. And when they were added in throughout the times of the centuries, it was always something taken out. And they said the curse of the land shall come upon you. And it has. Now I'm going to come to the 68th verse in chapter 1 of Luke. It says, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he had visited and redeemed his people. He had visited and redeemed his people, and had raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of the servant of David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Now, do you hear that? Do you hear what he's saying? We've been saved from our enemies. And who is our enemies? Satan and his worshipers. As we're seeing in these times, there's never been a time like it is now, that the desolation and the hate and the aggressiveness of mankind and the evil that is upon the earth and everything that's portrayed through scenes of TVs and movies and all the visual contraction that they've invented to mystify the mind and to confuse and take away from the Most High. Look at the devilish devices that they are making. Look at all of the shows on TV, what they have. On every opportunity of shows that you see out here in prime time, you have a homosexual, lesbian, or whatever in charge of it. And I didn't write that. He said it was an abomination. But when somebody talk about it, oh, you're discriminating. You should not say anything like that because that's not right. That's right. The Most High determines what's not right. Who are you that determines what's right or wrong? When you take or choose what you want to be, a homo or whatever, then you tell me that I'm discriminated because I say something like that. How dare you say that? I didn't say it. The Most High said it's an abomination. And I'll say it again. It's an abomination. And I don't discriminate against anyone. If anybody want to talk to me, because I've converted many people that believed that they were something that they weren't. I've converted them. So I know that's a lie. The devil is a lie. Because I have converted people that thought they were mixed up in their lives. Thought they had to have the same person for them that loved them. No, and I always gonna love them. Never gonna turn away from them that they need the help that they need. Be there for them. Don't pass judgment on anyone. When I see Satan at his works, I fight harder because that devil ain't gonna win. He don't mess with me because he can't get me. He had me one time. But by the grace of the Most High, I overcame him. I overthrew him. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you something that really is very important when we know about the enemies of the Most High, when we go back and we look at things in the book of Psalms. Now, the book of Psalms says these things about those perceptions of evil and what we're dealing with. He said the enemies that we are dealing with are enemies that will be in our face and in our times that we will have to deal with them as they are. I said, wow, that's kind of hard way to interpret things. But when I go off camera for a second, it's because I'm only looking for things to prove to you from the Most High's book. I'm not looking through my records or anything to try to give you my interpretation of what the Most High's interpretations are. Because when man tries to interpret the Most High words, it's confusing because he's given his perspective and understanding of how he would do things. When you start doing that and start writing your own books and telling your own lies about the Most High and who he is and misleading people and knowing that these people that you've lied to all these days, all these years that you enslaved are God's chosen people. And that's what I'm telling you and still telling you about. We are God's chosen people. Until we understand, he cannot gather us. We have to understand it. And I am in connection with millions of connections of messengers that are of the Most High and that believeth on him. We're going to have more than 144,000 because we have an opportunity now with the technology of the day to get away from the witchcraft, the wizardry of all of those things that are pertaining to the evil ways of the Satan and satanic and the evil ways of Lucifer and his imps. A lot of you may not understand my words. A lot of you do understand my words. But those of you that continue to hear my words will hear the words of the Most High. Now in Psalms chapter 83, verse 1 through 2, it says, keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee, and have lifted up thy head. Oh, they're fighting a tumult. Fighting. You putting up a battle. You're not going to give in, you say. But I tell you right now, this is the week coming up here soon, another week from today, a week from yesterday. It's a holiday that everyone's be thankful and be blessed and feel good about and come together and pray on the things that they're blessed and that they're thankful for. This is not leading away from the message of God's chosen people because I gave you, as I stated in earlier message, that on my first part 1 video was to tell you in scriptures the color. Because if we say now, oh, color don't make any difference. Yes, it does. If it didn't make any difference, why you put all these things, color barriers, these toilets and these restaurants and these theaters and these workplaces, and never training for anything other than training for labor work? If it didn't make a difference, if it was written one time that a third of the people, if it didn't make a difference, yeah, make a difference because you know who we are. You've always known who we are. You had the records. You know all about us, and still my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, and they rejected the knowledge, and that's the bad thing about it. And because they reject that knowledge, and he's going to reject them. And I'll tell you something one more time. This is not off the course of what I'm talking about, God's chosen people. But I'll tell you one thing about what this thing about Thanksgiving is, and which I feel because I have a strong relationship with the people that they call the Native Americans, because I can relate to their struggles, their fight against the oppressors, against the people that worked under the realm of the satanic and Luciferian ways. Now, when you look at the Indians and you think about Thanksgiving, you see these little kids making art about pilgrims and Indians sitting together with turkeys and corn and all these things like that. These pilgrims would have died if it wasn't for the help of the Native Americans. They called them American. Can you imagine America? Columbus said, freak. Anyway, and got a holiday for them. Anyway, Thanksgiving, a day of celebration. But I'll tell you what the celebration was about. Over 1 million natives were killed on that special Thursday. And you took in everything that they owned with their crops and everything that they had of possessions, things that they never look at as materialistic. These things are in your history book. Like I tell you, I didn't write the Most High's book, and the history that you kept it because of your ways. You kept it for your evil ways. Now, I didn't do that. Now, you killed over 1 million Native Americans on that day and celebrated and took everything they had, their crops and everything. And then on that Friday, which my people are the biggest, probably money spenders on this day called Black Friday. And check this out. You didn't know this. I knew it, but now I can say it because nothing can be held back anymore. Everything is wide open. On Fridays, all of the big owners of the slave markets would come out, and they would sell their slaves, they would trade slaves, they would do all those things on Black Friday. And why you think they kept it as Black Friday, you black fool? I call myself, I said, you black, I'm not talking to y'all now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted, I'm talking about me. I said, you black fool, Kenny. Y'all there, y'all down, black fool. Look at you, celebrating everything that they told you. Christmas, I can tell you about Christmas, but I'm not. I can tell you about everything about Easter, but I'm not. I can tell you everything about the holidays that they celebrate, even Halloween. The most satanic day of the year. All of the demons and freaks come out at night. But this is not my place. This is about God's chosen people. My brothers and my sisters, and everyone else that hear this, I'm not preaching hate. There are many ethnicities that I relate with, that I like, that I could call friend, because without them, we can do nothing. There are many good other people of other nations, of other colors, of other cultures, of other living styles, lifestyles. There are many, and I have no problem with them. I met many good Orientals, many good Muslims, many good Caucasians. I met Indians, many red men they call them. They call colors, but from one blood he made every nation of men. But his chosen people, that does distinguish because the whole world had gone astray. And because of his chosen people, he had to get them to lead the world back. Because if he didn't, would nothing be saved. And still, they didn't get the message because there's an ending to that book. And we don't win. We do not win. Because if he do not come, would nothing be saved. So get ready for the horn. It's about to blow. And my chosen people, gather yourself together. because 1619 to 2019, and gather, get a tough history education review, because Brother Yadan, it's all about you. His love is to you. In your name, Yeshua HaMashiach. And I say to all of my brothers and sisters one more time, Shalom, Shalom.